Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Office Hours Live. So as always, the team are here. So welcome to Rakesh. Hi Rakesh, good morning.
Hey everyone.
My name is Kevin, lead product educator for Zenler, and if you're watching this, you are in our Facebook group. So it's fantastic that you're here. Every week we do welcome in new people that have found Zenler. They're starting to use the platform. They've found our fantastic group here, and they're looking to expand their knowledge and understanding of what Zenler can do for their business. So we run Office Hours Live every single week, which gives you the opportunity to find out what's been happening on the systems through our changelog segment. We also have our education segment, so we'll show you around some of the resources we've created for you so you can learn the platform at your pace, where you can go, what you need to do. And of course, if you are new to us, then, or even if you've been here for a while and you've got any questions, please do put them into the chat. I can't promise you we'll answer them right here, right now, but we will always, if we don't know the answer right now, we'll always come back and find out and then put it back into the chat after the live has finished. So remember the hashtag. So if you're live and you're watching us, just put hashtag live and which country you're watching from. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay, same premise, which country you are. We switch office hours around each week. So at the moment we're at 10 a.m. GMT, and next week we'll be at 5 p.m. GMT. And that's our schedule. And we do that because we cover a lot of countries around the world using this platform. So we want to try and get the English, the Europeans, the Americans, the Australians, people from New Zealand. At some point within that 2 week, we want to try and give them the opportunity to join us live, which is why we switched that round. So, but we're here at 10 a.m. It's going to be a good show today, so do get your questions in. We're going to head over to the first slot for today's office hours, and that's where I get to hand over to Rakesh, and he will walk through the changelog for this week. Thanks very much, Rakesh.
Cool. Thanks, Kevin. Let me just share my screen. Do you see my screen at all?
Yeah, I can see that.
Cool. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining in this morning. At Zenler, we're constantly refining the platform. We're constantly rolling out fixes and refinements and also working on new features. But with the Black Friday coming up soon, we have like a change freeze in place. So we are not going to do major releases before Black Friday, but we have some few minor updates that has gone in. So these are the ones. I think there's some issue with the Facebook change file system. It's not not able to open it. So I'm just going to share it from my Google Doc. You see my screen, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I can see your
cool.
screen.
Excellent. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that update that has gone in this release is custom certificate. For custom certificate, we had loads of issues with custom certificate, and we have done some validations around it. So whenever you upload a custom certificate, we will do a set of validations. So we have added those validations in. So basically, things like if you do not set the correct width and height and things like that, it was failing. So it's going to give the warning that you need to set certain parameters. So that was the main reason why custom certificates were failing earlier. Also I think in certificates, when you upload a certificate and when you hit preview, it is now going to show you the exact preview of how it looks like. Earlier it was just showing an image, so it was not the actual representation. Now you can actually see the certificate. You can download, you can actually view the certificate and see how it looks on Zenler. So I think this should solve quite a lot of issues on the custom certificate. So let us know if this solves a lot of your problems with custom certificates. We think it will, but I think you guys can check it out. And also one more thing, or important thing is for live classes and live webinars, earlier there was no way to bulk import users into it. Now when you do bulk import into live class or live webinars, you can now do a bulk import, just like you do for courses or funnels. You can now bulk import your users into a live class or webinar. You can select the webinar, and from people, site and people, you can upload the file, and you can bulk upload users into the live class and webinars. I think that's a quick update from changelog side. Back to Kevin.
Lovely, thank you, Rakesh. So obviously the team work relentlessly day in, day out to make sure Zenler is a stable platform for everybody to use. We're not constantly pumping out new features. It's unsustainable, and it means it just creates more and more issues. So we do it in a very controlled fashion. So when we've got a feature released, we'll tend to build upon it. We'll make sure that it's working. Obviously, there's bits and pieces that always need looking at and upgrading, and that's often what happens in the changelog. And for the next few weeks, you'll see a lot of that going on. We don't go through the detail of the server upgrades that we do, the speed resources that we look at, and all of that, because to be fair, we don't as users need to know that. We're pumping out new features as well, and they're out there supporting what we're doing. So let me move on to the education slot. So remember, you can put your questions in live. So if you are here and you're watching us live, do put them in. If not, we're going to have a very short office hours, and me and Rakesh are going to knock off early and go down the cafe and have a bacon sarnie. But do put them in. Let me go through the education slot for you. Now, this is actually a really important one, and sometimes we add it in depending on what's going on. But today I'm going to do a little bit more of a deeper look into it, so you understand what's been built for you as users that you have access to, because it's great buying into a platform, but we need to understand how we want to use it for our own business, and everybody's will look different. So there isn't a set format to what a new Zenler site will look like or how it will work, because I've seen such an array of people using it vastly differently. Remember, at its core, we're a learning management system. That means we deliver digital courses, digital assets. We have a payment system where you can sell that. But there's so much more to it now than there used to be, which means you can have this as your only online presence if you wish. So you wouldn't need a website, you wouldn't need any of that type of stuff. You can have it all within your Zenler system. So let's have a look at some of the resources we've got. Now, we've got three main areas. I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully I'll share the right thing. And let's look here. So the first area that we're going to look at is tutorials.newzenler.com. Now, everything on here, as I've said, we've built, it's with our compliments. We don't charge you for access to this system, and all of the training that you will ever need to use this system is housed within here. Now, of course, you do need to register to get access, but then, you know, we need to make sure that we've got the right people coming in. Now, as you come onto the homepage, you'll see we've really changed the look here. So it's far simpler for you to find what you're looking for. So we've got our boot camps, we've got our extras. They're things like special sessions that we've done. The ninja tricks are in there. The stuff that you don't really fit into a specific area, but are quite important. We've then got Zenler marketing. So that's all things on marketing courses that we've done. We've got challenges in there. We've got loads of stuff. And then we've got Learn Zenler. And this is where we have the main part of the learning zone. So if you're looking to create a funnel for the first time, you would go into the Learn Zenler zone, you go to the search bar, you type in funnel, and it will give you all of the training that we've created for you based on that search phrase. So if you're looking to blog, you type in blog, and it will give you everything that you need to find out about the blogging system within Zenler, how to set it up, how to put your blogs in, how to, you know, all of those bits. So that's a really important part to remember. Now, when you do go in here into the Learn Zenler bit specifically, don't go through it line by line in the masterclass course, because it's huge. That's why we've put the search function in there. You'll look at it, you will take weeks and weeks to find the bit that you want, and you'll feel completely overwhelmed. Think of it like a dictionary. If you're looking to spell a word, you don't, and the word might be phenomenal, you don't start at A and go for every page. you go to the P's and then you work your way down using it appropriately. And the search function we've got in New Zenler is very similar. Type in your keyword, it will bring up what you're looking for, and it will discard everything else at that time. We do have our latest live events here as well. So office hours, as I've said, we run frequently. We do run a number of other live events as well. So we've got the live build with Zenler. There's all sorts of stuff going on there, which you can keep your eye on and see what's going on. We've got our lists and matrices here, which tells us the features that are available at the moment. It's reasonably up to date. I think it was done about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So it's pretty much there. It's also got our competitor matrix. So if you're looking at moving to New Zenler and you're thinking, well, this one has that, does New Zenler do that? That will give you a good idea in a very quick snapshot as to where we position ourselves against some of the other learning management systems out there. And then there's just some other bits and pieces. If you're not on any of our social channels, do go over and give them a follow. YouTube, we're going to take a look at in a sec, and Facebook, they're the two massively important ones, because I'll explain in a minute why. Now, we do have the quick start guide as well. So when you register on here, or you register with New Zenler, you'll get a quick start guide. What this does is it helps you set up your account initially. So whenever you get involved in a new piece of software, there's always bits you have to do. There's always those one-off things that you need to do. So when you want to actually use the platform to sell courses or to do whatever it is you want to do, then bits are already there. So things like how you connect your payment processor. Don't wait until you've done your course to set it up. Get it set up at the beginning. How you add your branding in, you know, your different fonts, your different colors, even some of the language that you use within your system. Now, you can always go back and re-edit it, but we've designed the quick start guide just to get those bits out of the way for you. If you want to do a custom domain, you can do that bit there. And it will take you through a process that pretty much gets all of that sorted for you quite quickly. So it takes 2 to 4 hours, depending on how fast and how knowledgeable you are on this type of system. But 2 to 4 hours, and then it's done. There's also a little checklist there for you as well. But I would say if you're new to us, you've not used the system before, you've just got your account, whether that's a free account, a pro account, or a premium account, go through the quick start guide, and that will really help you to move forward in the right way. It's like setting the foundations correctly. Second place for you to go and look is our YouTube channel. So youtube.com/c/Zenler. And now this is a really interesting one, because there are videos here that don't go anywhere else. And you may ask, well, why is that? Now, often on the tutorial site, they don't really fit within what we have as a resource over there. So it would become very complicated and very haphazard. If we put it into the Facebook group, and sometimes we do, the feed is so busy on there, they tend to get lost. So people go, oh, I saw a video in here 3 weeks ago, and by the time you've scrolled through 20 pages trying to find it, or done the search on Facebook, which isn't the best, you're just frustrated so you can't find it. So our YouTube channel does host a lot of the videos that you won't find elsewhere easily. So when we look at one of the most important ones is, of course, the new feature releases. If we've done a new feature, even if it's an upgrade to a feature that we've already got in there, we'll do a quick video for you, just showing you how that works. So that's a really important one, which is why it's right at the top. We've got how-tos. So these are questions that you've come into the Facebook group and said, how do I do this? And it's not that we haven't covered it in the tutorial site, but sometimes it's a specific way of using a part of the platform. So what we'll do is we'll recreate it for you and go, this is how you do it. And we'll do a little video on it so you can specifically see. And as you can see, you know, there's some gone in 6 days, 7 days ago, a couple of weeks ago. You guys have not asked so much recently, so therefore we've not had to put so many in. And we've also covered quite a lot as well. But you'll see in there streaming into a live Facebook event using Zenler. Now, we had to update that because Facebook changed. So we try and keep it as up to date as possible where we can. So those 2 resources are well worth coming over, subscribing to, and hitting the notify bell. So when we put a new one up, you'll see it. We've got pro user interviews. So people that are using the platform, this is people that are paying at a pro level account or a premium level account, and they're selling courses. And I've done some interviews there which shows you just how you can really make a system that everybody has access to, everybody has the same tools to, but how you can make it work so differently for different types of businesses. So the pro user interviews are really interesting. So if you're in one of these fields and you want to have a look at how someone else is using it, or get some ideas, some inspiration, then there's some really good information in those. We've got the Facebook help there. That's very similar to the Ask Zenler. A day with Zenler, when we do those every month, we run those for 2 sessions last Friday of every month. They go in here because, again, they would just get lost in Facebook. So if you want to go through with them and skip through, then you're more than welcome to. We've got our live workshops, we've got office hour replays, and then live builds. So the YouTube channel is really, really useful. Let me just say, good morning, Joe. Good to see you. I've come in here because I just want to head into Facebook now, which is our last place. Now, obviously, you're all watching this in the Facebook group right now, and the Facebook community is absolutely fantastic because there's lots of people giving lots of support and lots of help. There's also a practical reason for being here as well. So we have 2 areas that we'd suggest you go and look at. The first area is the announcements tab. Now, I've gone through actually today and got rid of all of the old stuff that isn't relevant anymore. So you will not find anything pre-2021. When we mark something up as an announcement, we do it because we feel that it needs to be noticed. So if we've done a new release, if we've got a specific event coming up, we'll put an update out onto the group, then we'll mark it as an announcement. So people can, in essence, if they don't want to go through the whole feed of Facebook, they can click the announcement tab and scroll down what is a filtered version, but one that's important. We've got the change log in there. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces. So if you're new and you've not yet looked, go and have a look in there. There's some really interesting stuff. The second area is when you click on more and you go to events, you'll see all of our upcoming live events. So we've got office hours happening now. Yay, so we really are live. Office hours there. So we've got the schedule for the rest of the month. When we get to the last one, I'll put the next month's up so you all know. If you want to go to this, just click it. You're going. It says invite because it's obviously my account. But if you're looking at this, that will say whether you're going or not. You can click you're going if you want to be reminded as to when this is going to go live. We've also got workshops. So when we do the Sunday workshops, you'll see them put into Facebook as well. We can see past events. So introduction to the new Zenler. So that's the live webinar that Alice is running at the moment. So it's a nice place to be if you want to see what trainings are available. And these are normally live events. These are not pre-recorded. They're not ones that we've sat down and done and we're just going to put out on an auto webinar or anything like that. These are all live events. So you'll get one of the team there with you live if you want to go. And remember, these are all free of charge. We're not charging for any of what I've just shown you. So do take advantage of what's available for you and, you know, really get involved where you can. Now, I'm going to head back to the chat and see if I've missed anything. What, Rakesh, while I'm just going through the chat, can you just explain the support process, please, for how people can get technical support?
Cool. Yes, I think the best way to reach out support is support@zenler.com. We streamline all our support, all our support requests through support@zenler.com, and that's our help desk. So any issues you have, if it's technical, the best way to get in touch is support@zenler.com, and support is quite responsive, and you should hear back from us very, very soon. But the thing is, a lot of people do not send to the correct email address. Make sure you send to support@zenler.com and you get a ticket number. Only if a ticket is generated, support will be able to look at it. Otherwise, support will not be able to look at it. So if it's general questions, you can ask in the Facebook group. But if it is super specific, if it is technical, if it needs looking into, if it needs investigation on what is going on behind the scenes, you need to talk to support@zenler.com.
Yeah, and the key to that is just to double check you've actually been received by the support team. Is you will get an email back with a ticket number, and that means that they've received that request. If you don't get that email back within a minute or two, it means that you've either put the wrong email address in or something's not gone right. So it's really important that you do get that come back. Right, I'm going to go to the chat because you've been all really quite quiet. But Joe is here with us. So hi, Joe. Good to see you here. And you're live from the UK, so that's fantastic. Joe's got a question and a follow-up. So let's ask and answer your question, hopefully now. So Joe says, I set up a membership about 2.5 months ago. The members receive content on a drip monthly from when they join the bundle. The problem has arisen in month 3 as I added the course that contains month 3 content. I found out that despite setting the drip up in the bundle, for some reason, the way Zenler is set up, the drip in bundles from enrollment is actually from when members enrolled in each course that is being dripped in the bundle. So as the course was added after they enrolled, it started counting the delay from when the course was added to the bundle. This makes no sense as it doesn't tally with their payments coming in. And it also means that the content would have to all be added before you set up a membership, which just isn't practical. Before you set up a membership, which just isn't practical, as most of us build content as we go. Sorry for the super long question. I didn't actually see the question in there, but I'm assuming what you're saying is, if you've got a monthly membership and you want to add content in, how do you get it to drip at the appropriate time?
I actually don't know off the top of my head the answer to this question, but let me just share the screen. Share the screen. This book. So in bundles, there is an option here saying if you want to allow drip for the bundle or if you want to allow drip for the courses inside the bundle. So I think you probably selected the first option for the bundle to do the drip, I think. So in here, I think what we have is drip based on the day that user is enrolled. So what Joe is saying is the problem is when she drops a course into it, the drip is being calculated from that time rather than from the date of enrollment. I don't know on the top of my head, but I'll check with the support and see what's going on there.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because there are quite a lot of different ways of looking at this. So, yeah. For example, if you were running a membership and you were adding people in, and when they added in, you wanted them to come in and for month 1 every single time, then that's quite straightforward. One of the things that you might want to explore is the release by date.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you know you're having an intake in on the 1st of December, the 1st of January, for example, then you can set that as when that's going to be released. That might be a way of getting around that particular issue. That's what I would certainly be exploring.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's the best way around if you are really concerned about this right now, because probably that's the way it's set up right now. We need to investigate. It looks this is more complicated than it looks, but yeah, I think we need to look at this particular use case.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe, Joe, that's something you can do, and just maybe do a video into support or send it to one of the team so we can look a little bit more deeper into it, because we obviously want to make it simple and really friendly for your users. We don't want you to have messed up payments and people not having access when you think they've got access. It becomes a bit of a nightmare. So I think for now, certainly if you can do drip by date, that will at least give you 100% confirmation you know what students have what access at what point. So when they say I haven't got access, well, you know, well, if that date's passed, then they've got it, rather than looking at, well, how much time has passed on their own account, which is what you're probably looking at right now, which would give me a headache, especially if I had a lot of students. That would be problematic. But that's how I would address it. And I think, as Rakesh has said, we need to just maybe look a little bit deeper and see if we can make that a bit more user-friendly. So, okay, so Joe's got the ticket number, so Rakesh will pick up on that, I think, and maybe look a little bit more into that. Okay, do we have any more questions? I think not is the answer for right now. So I'm going to start to close off office hours for this week. Normally I go around the team and see what's going on. Obviously David and Alice are not here today. So Rakesh, I'll start with you and then I'll try and cover their bits. And if I miss any bit, can you just jump in, please?
Cool.
So is there anything from you for this week, Rakesh?
There's nothing else from my side. As I said, there's change freeze because of the Black Friday's sales schedule. Yeah, so hopefully we'll roll out a few more changes next week.
So from Alice, she's now running the weekly webinars. So if you know somebody that may be interested in getting involved in New Zenler, maybe you're on a free account and you want to look at some of the features with Alice live as to what upgrading to a pro or premium account would look like, then that's the opportunity for you to do that. If you're a partner of New Zenler, then please do feel free to come on and invite people with you that you might want to introduce to New Zenler, because it's the perfect opportunity for one of the team to run through it and answer their questions as well. We're also started the onboarding sessions. So if you have a pro or premium account, you've not been onboarded, i.e. shown around the system properly, then please feel free to reach out to Alice and you can get, we're doing about 1 to 3 at the moment. So 3 people coming on with Alice just to go through it in a little bit more depth for you to see what elements of New Zenler and show you around the system a bit more. So that's those parts from me. I have nothing else this week. I'm not sure what Dave is up to. I think his workshops are going live soon. So as I say, look out on the events on Facebook. That will keep you up to date as to when the registration pages are open and when we're going to be going live. So for me, that's it. So next week, remember, we're at 5 p.m. GMT. So if you can make that one, then, or if you know someone in the group that can't make this one but can make that one, then invite them along to office hours. Just tag them in that event and get them to come along. They may not even be aware that it's there. So let's try and get the community a bit more involved in office hours. I think that will be my message today. But thanks everyone that did come along. It's been appreciated. Joe, thanks for your question. Interesting one. And as I say, it helps with the development of New Zenler as well. So we can now look at that as a specific use case and see how we can maybe help. I can't promise anything, but we'll certainly look at it. So thanks, Joe, for your input today. Rakesh, thank you very much. We'll see you all next week. So have fun using New Zenler. Have a fantastic week. And we'll see you 5 p.m. GMT next Wednesday. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.